Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Chats with COLGA. I'm your host, Spokesperson, and this evening we have another very special guest in the hot seat, Mr.
Kamau Marshall.
Yes. Yay! Okay, so good evening, Mr. Marshall, and thank you for joining us. A little background, just skimming over what I saw on your website.
I need to update that thing.
Yes, sir. Okay, so according to your website, you have spent the last decade as a communications strategist while public engagement professionally at the highest levels of government, politics, and business.
That's correct.
You have served as the director of strategic communications for the 2020 Biden for President campaign from the launch of April 2019 through victory in November 2020.
That's correct.
Okay, and you have also served as a senior advisor and spokesperson for the 59th Presidential Inaugural Committee before joining the Biden campaign. And
that was after the campaign, actually.
Gotcha, okay. Yep. And you have worked at the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee.
Yes, that's all correct.
Great. And lastly, you have previously served in the Obama-Biden administration as the communications advisor and speechwriter at the United States Department of Agriculture.
That is correct.
Great. Okay. I did my research, as you can tell. Okay. But while that is just your, the baselines, please tell me more about yourself. That was just short.
Where do we begin? That's my career.
Yes.
That is a part of me, but I'm more than just those items that were great items, and they do play a major part of who I am and what I do professionally.
Yes.
But also at my true core, I am what I like to say a gumbo. I am a mix of a city guy mixed with a little country.
Yes.
And so I have lived all over the United States due to my parents' professional endeavors. I was born in Chicago, Illinois. From there, we moved to Baltimore, Maryland. From there, we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, then Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, and Columbus, Georgia, where I went to high school and middle school for a second. And I went to college in Houston, Texas from Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
I say that to say I am truly a gumbo.
Yes.
And all those places play a very critical part in my upbringing and who I am today.
Yeah.
Columbus was the smallest place I've lived in out of all those places. And ironically, as I'm getting older, it's one of my favorites.
Oh,
I do claim all the places that I live because they all played a very vital role in who I am today and helped shape who I am today. But Columbus, the community and just the small knit kind of lifestyle, I like it. It took some time to grow on me. When I first moved here, I did not like it. I lived in all these major cities, and then you come to Columbus, you're like, what? And people are always shocked because I claim Columbus with pride.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be from here, and I'm glad to be a Carver. Well, now they call it GW, Carver High School Tiger. I'm a proud alum of Carver High School.
Yes, I love that. Love every single bit of it. And I love how even though you've been to big cities, Columbus just stands out to you, which, you rarely hear.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting to hear. Columbus is very small, so it's very exciting to hear from people who have lived all over the place that Columbus really is near and dear. It is. Love that. And I completely agree.
Yes.
So now I have a little bit of a Q&A.
Okay.
Just a few questions. So starting off strong with number one, what led you to work in the Obama-Biden administration, and what was your role during your time there?
So what led me there was in 2012, I graduated from college, from undergrad in 2010, and I was a teacher first. I was a teacher for about 2 years. Okay. After teaching, I joined the Obama-Biden re-election campaign. That campaign, we won. And it led me to other endeavors. From there, I originally wanted to go straight to the White House, but it does not work like that. So I ended up getting an internship, turned fellowship, turned getting employed full-time in the United States Senate. My first few years in D.C., I was on Capitol Hill, and I worked at a very high-level public affairs strategic communications firm called SKDK Knickerbocker. And then at that time, I went back to the Hill and I was working for the late Congressman Elijah Cummings out of Baltimore. During my time there, I got tapped to come join the Obama-Biden administration. And that's how I ended up there. So it was something I was waiting on doing and something I really wanted to do. And the opportunity presented itself to be appointed by the president to work at USDA. A big reason why I chose that job and why I was glad to be picked and selected and appointed for their job was because of my roots here in Columbus and also having family that lived in rural America. That was an opportunity for me to learn agriculture from a very broad perspective. Knowing my mother is from North Georgia, Dalton, Georgia, and I have a lot of family in just different pockets of the United States. Rural America and the things that USDA provides to everyday people is something very impactful. So taking that role and being able to work with leadership directly with the secretary, former secretary of USDA is Secretary Tom Vilsack, who's also the former governor of Iowa, who also was from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a place I used to live, played a vital role in that. And also, while at USDA, I also worked in Foreign Agriculture Services. Foreign Agriculture Services is an agency within USDA that focuses on the foreign aspect of agriculture on behalf of the United States. It was like a mini U.S. State Department.
Gotcha.
And that led me there, and that experience still sticks with me today. I can kind of, I'm not a generalist, but I can kind of dabble in so many different issues. So my time from the Obama campaign and all the work I did post-Obama campaign led me to USDA. And that experience is, I still use it to this day.
Yes.
Plays a big role, but that's what led me there.
Gotcha, and that's a lovely answer. Thank you. Number two, there's a lot of media attention on the public-facing side of the administration, but what was the day-to-day work culture like in the White House?
The White House is a very busy place, filled with lots of different kinds of folks and experts. No day is the same. I think that it just varies on which agency you're working in, from whether you're at a place like USTR where you're doing trade on behalf of the United States, to whether you're in the communications shop, making sure you're doing the messaging on behalf of the president, or you're in the vice president's office doing messaging and communications on aspects for the vice president, to the Office of Public Engagement where they're engaging with the public. Every office means something. Every staffer means something, particularly in the Biden-Harris administration. All things matter. And it was very, very busy, very effective, very, what I like to say, high level, meaning you had to kind of, very fast paced, getting things done, literally delivering for the American people every day, all hours of the day. I would say for me, during my time there, I was probably up, and I was doing international issues. I was up from 2 a.m., probably in bed by 11 p.m. just to get back up. Depending on if I'm doing international issue, you got to work with another country. It's on another timeline. So it's an experience that I will always hold near and dear. But it also is a place where you grind your teeth. You got to put in a lot of work. And the grind is worth it because you're working on behalf of the people.
Yeah, definitely. Lovely. Number three, were there any memorable moments or funny stories from working in the White House that most people wouldn't know about?
Quite a few. Now, just to think of it off the top of my head, to be completely transparent and honest, I've not had the time to reflect on my time, even from the campaign to I consulted for a few months before going into the White House, to after that going to the U.S. Department of Education, to going back to the campaign. I've not actually had time to really sit down, if I'm being completely honest and transparent, and digest all of that. Yeah. Now, I do document I have a journal, and within that journal, I try to document my journey. I decided to do it a couple of years ago. I do a video journal. I don't talk on there every day. I probably talk on there maybe once or twice a month. This reminds me why I'm here in Columbus. I need to do the same thing. I like to do it when I'm particularly here in Columbus. Yes. And if I had to just pick some of my most favorite moments, would probably be having someone I worked with over the years come to an event. And I think one particular event, we were doing Justice Ketanji Brown, her confirmation hearing, the first Black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. And at that time, we were having a reception on the White House South Lawn. And all these years, I worked with this person, but I actually got to meet her in person. And that is Ambassador Carol Moseley Braun, who's also one of the first Black U.S. woman senators. And she's amazing. Yes. Ambassador Braun is amazing. And that's one of my favorite memories because over the years, we had a great working relationship. So what else? I would say bringing my family to the White House for like interesting events. I brought my niece and nephew to Easter egg roll. I'm the type of person during my time there, I didn't get to really enjoy or like have my parents come or my family. I was doing everything for everybody else but myself. And the one time I did do something was for my niece and nephew, and I brought them to the Easter egg roll. That's honestly probably one of the only things I've done. And I do have a regret that I did not bring my personal family and close friends there more often because I was in the work quite often.
Yeah, gotcha. Last question. How do you think your work, both inside and outside the White House, has made a difference and impact on the community, especially the people who look like you? And how has it impacted you yourself?
So, one, this work does not stop. The impact does not stop. We're in a very interesting time in history when it comes to electoral politics. And I think that, one, being a Black man in this space is always a good thing, number one. Two, I'm honored to have the experience and skills and the opportunity to have worked on both sides. I had the opportunity to work on the campaign side, which elects the president and vice president, but I've also been able to work on the official side of governing. And that right there is truly impactful because a lot of folks don't have both sides of the playing field when it comes to working in government and politics. And I've truly, when I look back, I'm like, hey, you've done both. And I like that I can do both. I like the campaign side. That is the side of public opinion. You have to sway, you have to talk to people, you have to meet them where they are. But also on the other side of that is governing, actually delivering those things you promise on the campaign side to the people. And people want to see results. I am a very results-driven type of person. I do believe in delivering at a very high level with no excuse. I do that, take that with me every day, everywhere I go. Yes. So I think that is my experience from the White House campaign, but also the federal agencies. People sleep on the federal agencies. The federal agencies do just as much work as the White House. Yes. And so my time at the U.S. Department of Education was really, really impactful. We worked on some things that have never been done before. Yes. Whether we were doing student loans forgiveness, whether we were working on different discrimination issues, just civil rights type of issues, to book bans, trying to keep our history alive for various different groups of people, different constituencies. So it just varies. But I have a very broad experience. And as we're in this setting right now in 2025, I am in a reflective state of knowing what we did, but also preparing for what's ahead.
Yes. Love that answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now we're going to take a break from questions, take a pause.
Okay.
I do have a game for you.
Oh, okay. So
this is called Fact or Fiction.
I'm bad at games. I'm terrible at games.
No, you're going to do great. You're going to do great.
Thank you. I appreciate your confidence.
So basically the point of this game is I'm going to basically say a statement and you're going to basically tell me if you think it's fact or fiction. And if you're right, you get a point. If not, you know. So.
I'm curious for this game.
Yes.
I should be good at this game, though.
Yes, you're going to do amazing. Okay, so question 1. The Eiffel Tower can grow taller in the summer.
False. It can grow tall in the summer?
That's a fact. The Eiffel Tower can expand and grow taller by about 6 inches due to the heat causing the metal to expand.
Interesting. Didn't know.
Yes.
So other buildings can expand in the summertime?
No clue.
Okay.
No clue at all.
I'm going to use that one.
Okay. Statement 2. The world's largest desert is the Sahara.
Oh, I'm not giving that answer. I don't know. What is the answer on that one? I have a thought, but I don't like being wrong.
Guess.
Oh no.
You have to.
You're not getting me on record being inaccurate. Oh no.
Take a lucky guess. 50-50 chance.
I don't know. I defer to you.
No. Just Tuesday and fiction, nonfiction. Which one? True, false, true, false. This was, I think, was it true?
This is true?
This is true.
False? You picked it.
Okay. That is in fact fiction. The largest desert in the world is the Antarctica?
Is it? Where is it based? That's a good.
No clue. But it is classified as a cold desert due to its extreme.
Interesting. I did teach social studies. You would think I knew that answer.
Hey, it's okay. We can't get them all. Okay. Okay. Next question. This one I think you'll get.
Okay.
The shortest war in history lasted only 38 minutes.
Which war was that? I don't believe that. 38 minutes?
Anglo-Zanzibar War. France and Great Britain.
38. I would remember that if it was 38 minutes. How would they keep it? That's false. It's true? That's true?
It's true.
Why did we not learn that in school? I did not get that anywhere. Like that is something that would stick. A 38-minute war. Who was keeping the time? Was it
38
watches?
to 45 minutes.
What year was this? 18 what?
I couldn't tell you. But it's
I gotta find that fact. Can you send me these questions after this?
I got you.
Thank you. I gotta get answers to all these things.
Okay, 2 more.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you can get these.
Okay, I hope so.
A person can live without a stomach.
Oh, I mean, I have thoughts. I mean, but this is 2025 and technology is something else right now. We have a lot of fake stuff and artificial AI stuff. So who knows? So that can go either way, in my opinion.
Which one do you think?
But you need food to survive. I mean, I have a thought, what I think.
What's your thought? True, false?
In my opinion, that is not a true or a false. I think that is not true, but I think
Not true? Not choose your final answer?
I guess so.
You'll be heard.
You can live with a stomach, without a stomach. Is this stomach artificial?
It's a fact. Yes,
Wow.
It is possible for someone to live without a stomach as long as they receive proper medical care and the digestive system can adapt by using other parts such as the intestines.
Take my stomach now. Take my stomach.
I know.
Take it.
I don't believe it,
I
but
mean-
it's true. It's true.
I'm going to eat after this. So I just want to know my taste bud, what happens there?
It's
That's a
true.
good question.
You can live without a stomach.
Wow. Just humans?
Just humans.
Okay. All right.
Okay. This one you will get.
I hope so. I'm
positive.
done. I'm over it. I defer to you. I am throwing the ball in your court.
You got this one. This one is super. I made it super easy just for you.
That's what you said the last time.
Okay, but this one's super easy for real. Okay.
Okay.
The first Disney movie ever made was Sleeping Beauty.
Now,
No? You think it's false?
you gotta look. I'm way older than you, clearly. During my time, it was Aladdin, it was Little Mermaid, Lion King. That's what I grew up on. I'm missing some others. Peter Pan.
Oh, the classics.
All the classics.
All the classics. So your final answer?
You know what? That could be true though. It was like Mickey Mouse or that. I feel like it's definitely in the top. So I defer to you, but it's probably in the top 3. Sleeping Beauty is definitely one of the classics though. I think it's definitely up in the top.
Do you think
3.
it's not true that Sleeping Beauty was the first movie?
I don't know. I give up. I defer
Take a
to you.
guess. Take a guess.
I defer to you.
Take a guess. I promise you. You're on the right track.
I have read that it was like, it's definitely one of the first ones. And so I do know that it's like one of the top 3 for sure. Because they've remade it like quite a few times. I guess I'll say it is the first. It's not the first. It's not the first. It's not the first.
It is not the first.
Okay.
It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Snow White and they're very similar to some degree.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Steamboat Willie is his first short film, however,
Okay.
but Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is his first official film.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
Yes.
I could have got. I was pretty much.
You were
there.
on the right track. I'll give you that one. One out of 5. I'll give you that one.
That's
that one
terrible.
is all yours.
That's why I only, as a trained spokesperson, I only answer questions that I have answers for.
Yes, yeah. But hey, it's A-okay. It's A-okay.
That's right.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to the COLGA hot seat. So I have a few interesting questions. They're pretty tame though, so don't be scared.
Gosh, I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Don't be scared. They're super tame, I promise you. Okay. Question 1. What's the biggest what if in your life that still follows you today?
Biggest what if? I think I have what ifs every day. I literally have what ifs every day. My biggest what ifs about Columbus though, or just in general?
Doesn't matter, either one.
My biggest what if about Columbus is, how would Columbus look? What if Columbus turned into truly the number, because we always go back and forth between us and Augusta as the number 2 city. Mm-hmm. Columbus leaning in to being truly the number 2 city in the state of Georgia. What if we turned into that? Right. I think we can go way beyond. We don't need to be Atlanta. Atlanta's Atlanta.
Atlanta's Atlanta.
Let's lean into being Columbus and being the best number 2 we could be.
Yes.
What if we did that?
That would be amazing.
That's one of my really what ifs. Since I was a kid, living all those places, I was like, what if Columbus could just lean into?
Yes.
So yeah, that's one of my what ifs for Columbus.
Yes, okay, lovely answer. Number 2, if you could swap lives with me for a day, who would it be and why?
Fantasy question.
This can be fantasy. This can be a fictional character. This could be someone that you know close in real life or someone you worked with.
Who do I want to be for? I work with a lot of people. I've seen a lot of things. For a day?
For a day, 24 hours.
Oh, I don't know. That's a lot of people. It's hard to pick just one person. First, I was going to say, I don't want to be nobody for a day. But then I thought about it. I went back into history. I'm a history buff. And I was like, And the first person I thought of was MLK. And I thought of Malcolm. I started thinking of like historic figures, if I could just be in their shoes for a day.
Yes.
One of their good days. I'm very particular. I need to be in
one of the good days.
One of the good days. I need to be in their shoes for the good days, not the crazy days. That's a great question. That's a hard question. There's a lot of people. It's hard to just pinpoint one, but it will definitely. But to answer your question, it will be a historic figure that has impact on our society. And if I can go back, I would do something that can still live throughout today in one of those figures' lives that can change something throughout the day that they didn't predict. Yes. If I had the ability to be in their shoes for just one day.
Just one day. That's lovely. Okay. Number 3.
Okay.
What is the most petty or dramatic thing you've ever done?
Oh, I actually hate pettiness and drama stuff. I stay far away from it as much as possible. Even though I'm a very straightforward person, my team and colleagues, they know I'm not petty, but when people try to get petty with me,
you come back.
I come back.
Yes.
And I was like, why did we do that? And I was like, well, you did it because I didn't, because I don't play petty, but only if you give it to me. And
so you're one of you go low, I'll meet you there.
Yep. Unfortunately. But I do it in an tactful way though.
Yes.
I'm not, it won't come off petty.
You're subtle with it.
Yes. And they'll be like, why did I do that? I'm like, I tell my team, I say, if you can dash it, I can take it. But I said, also, I can take it and I can dash it. So choose your battles.
Right. Definitely. Choose your battles.
Yep.
And this one is just for my satisfaction.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. 9 is the best number.
This is such a silly question.
Okay.
Don't take it serious.
I'm here.
How accurate is Scandal?
It's a good question. Scandal is not accurate. However, it is aspects of Scandal that is really good and close to different storytelling items. Olivia Pope,
Love her.
She's truly her character, which is based off of a true character.
Yes.
Miss Judy, who's a real person.
Yes.
She's really amazing in real life.
I've heard of her. Yeah.
Is a comms person. What I do, communications.
Yes.
And so she was a press secretary in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, we call it strategic communications. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
And so I like when people say, what do you do? I say, I use all my fingers and all my toes. I start fires. I kill fires. When we say start fires, meaning like impress, like whether I need to drop a bomb there, I need to do a cleanup, I need to start some spice, I have to be quick on rapid response.
Yeah.
We have to fire back and get spicy. I said it to say it is some truth to some of that. Some of it is a little not real.
Exaggerated.
Yes.
Yes.
But out of all the different political shows from Scandal, House of Cards, West Wing, which is really good, very old. I've still not watched the whole thing because it's very long, but it's really good. And Veep. All of them have some similarities of truth. Mm-hmm. Some over-exaggerated, some under-exaggerated.
Gotcha.
So it's a mix. But Scandal, great storylines, probably a little over-exaggerated.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Always wondered that, so thank you for answering my question.
Real good question.
Okay, so lastly, we have our closing Q&A. We're going back to the questions.
Okay.
So these are a little bit more relaxed.
Okay.
They're more focused on you rather than your work life.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Okay.
positive.
All right.
Promise you, pinky swear.
Let me see. Hold up. All right.
Pinky promise.
You said it.
Never breaking it.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, I lied. Just one question.
Okay.
But there's three. So,
Okay.
question number one. If you can go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
So my parents and close friends can testify to this. Mm-hmm. I'm a very bold person. Mm-hmm. I have an old soul, and I'm very straightforward. I don't bite my tongue. Yeah. And I've been this way for a long time. So when people first meet me, they're like, "Ooh." I was like, "This guy, right? Who do you think he is?" Kamau Marshall.
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes.
And so I say that to say, I've been who I've been, and I've embraced it since I was a young age. I think if I could go back and change something, it's not many things I would change. I was very active child, very outspoken, very strategic. It's definitely something I would go back and change, but I'm trying to think, what is that I would change? Because when I look at where I am now and those experiences then, I'm glad I had those experiences. Yes. It was not perfect by any means. It is something I cannot think of what it is. I think if I had to pick something, it would be... No, okay, that's not true. I'll be lying to you if I say, oh, I would have done that. That's not true. I like where I went to school. I like my experiences, even when at the time I didn't like it. But when I'm looking back at it now, I'm glad. It
shaped you perfectly, yes.
But at that time, I may have not liked it.
Yeah.
But as I'm older and looking back, I was like, that's a good thing, actually. Yeah. I don't have an answer for it, but I think it is something I would do. And if I can pick something, I probably would say... not necessarily my childhood, but my younger adult years, I don't tell this story often. I got into a very prestigious school for graduate school. I was declined 3 to 4 times. I got in the 4th time, but I was working, doing my first job on Capitol Hill. So it was like, get this great, outstanding second master's degree or continue working on Capitol Hill. And at the time, I valued experience, work experience. But if I could go back, I was trying to find a way to do both. But if I could go back, I probably would have said, scrap the work and just take the school experience.
Yeah.
only because we're going to work for the rest of our lives for the most part.
Exactly. Love that. Number 2, what is the most challenging part of your work that people never see?
People management, kind of managing people, personalities, coming with, as you saw earlier, I've been very busy, and I have a lot of incoming personalities. And as a leader in my organization where I work, I have to come with a calm demeanor, and I have to have it together because people depend on me to have it together. Exactly. But people don't see that. Yeah. They see me when I'm directing, when I am organizing, when I'm delegating, and also producing at a very high level. With that, what they don't get to see is my transparency with my closer team, and how I try to empower them so we can all be somewhat equals. But a lot of people don't get to see that. They only get to see the after part. Yeah. So the inner workings of what I do, I like to say, sausage making, Play-Doh making process that is not seen to a lot of people. They just get to see the ending outcome. Yeah. And that ending outcome is usually a press story or an event that one of the electeds I work for does or something of that nature. But they don't get to see what goes into all of that. Gotcha. And so that they only get to see the ending part, not knowing that it took so much to get to this one little piece. Yeah. Details. Yes, the small things. Yep. Behind the scenes. Yes, I love that. Yep. Because it really, like when you're working in like big groups and you're kind of the set person that they go to and rely on, it gets hard when you're kind of, not put together and they expect you to be put together so you can deal with them. Yep. I understand that. Very true. Yes. And lastly, our last question, what advice would you give to the young people out there that either want to join this field or work in a field somewhere similar? One thing you should do is look at someone you admire and look up to. Look at their career path and figure out, how do you see yourself being in their shoes, and how can you align your trajectory of how you want to move in your career field? Look at that. We have the internet now. We have LinkedIn now. Look at their jobs. Look at how do I want to move? That was some advice given to me. I already was doing it before it was given to me, but now it's very accessible. Yes. So I would tell people to look at something they're really interested in. Look at someone they are really interested in. It doesn't have to be just one person. It could be multiple people. And figure out a path that you think that could work for you, and doing that. And reaching out to those people. Yes. Reach out to them. Yes. You may not get that person, but people say 6 degrees of separation. In my life, a lot of times, it feels like 2 degrees or a degree of separation. We're not that far from someone you admire, look up to, or want to be like, etc. Exactly. I love that. Your words kind of gave me hope. Yeah. As someone who is a sophomore and moving up to that point very, very soon after she submits her college resume. So that really kind of gave me hope as someone who wants to work in law. Okay. Because, I have lawyers all around me, very impactful lawyers. People who also work in the White House, like you and Miss Jean Crockett. I worked in the past White House. Not the current White House. One. Yes. Get it right. But yes, it gives me, and probably, people my age who will listen to this later, a lot of hope that they're just right next to you, not that far. Yeah. So right now, grow, experience life. When you're in a young age, you are young, you're experienced, you don't know what's ahead, but having a plan helps, and it matters. Yes. It helps you have some kind of guidance. So plan out how you see yourself or where you would like to see yourself in 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 years. I know it's a very cliche thing that we hear all the time, but it really does help because you can fine tune your vision. Yeah. You can literally edit your life as needed. Yes, you can. And people, I think some people don't understand that. And I'm very strategic in how I move, career-wise, personal life, all that. It's a reason why I'm doing something. It's just not. I come from a very religious, spiritual type of family. My father's a minister. Oh yeah. So God has definitely ordered my steps, but within that, I have some grind behind my prayers.
Yes.
I have some thoughts behind that. It's just not like, oh, I'm floating. No, I put some thought into it, and I would encourage people to do the same thing.
As I always say, all it takes is grit and God.
Yeah. I love
All it takes.
that. I love that.
So thank you so much, Mr. Marshall. We appreciate you for making an appearance.
Thank you.
You were absolutely wonderful. You did
I'm
perfect.
glad. I hope so.
And well, everyone, that's all for this evening on Chats with COLGA. Thank you for tuning in and see you next Sunday.
Bye-bye.